We got Bengan, a Swedish player.
Oh, right.
Great guy. I actually met up with earlier this year. Yeah, or last year, where we won the Swedish championship together at a LAN event.
Huge.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Who else was on that? Oh, hang on a second. The game started back up again. Battle over the runes. Just a bit of trading. No real kill threat there.
Yeah,
and back off the lanes we go.
Head back to their lanes and take it easy. And still, good start for Radiant here, getting the triple runes. Of course,
very true.
Weaver, always good to have during the runes as well. Feels so easy to try and steal runes when you are in possession of that Shikuchi. Such a good spell.
Invoker versus Storm in that mid lane. Already a deny up for no one. Yeah, Lumpy going straight into that Wex for EMP to burn through the mana. Going to be very irritating for the Storm Spirit in this kind of lane.
Yeah, he's continuously taking the aggro, making sure that the Invoker is tanking creeps for as long as possible here. But ultimately, Invoker going to go on the tower and again use those claws to heal up.
DM? He's going to be okay. I say okay there with some strain in my voice because he has pretty low HP and not happy about things.
He's
but
fine.
He's fine. Spirit Breaker has dragged the wave though. Boots first up for Kataomi means he can drag that wave around, get this Darkseer up a couple of levels, and then he can think about playing aggressively.
Normally you're happy about this pull, right? But at the same time, we see moves right on him, bothering him a little bit. And look at what Weaver has done. He has pulled the wave with double range creep and 4 melee creeps. So he actually has a very large creep wave here and can fully deny one wave, can deny the next wave too if he needs to. So still dealing with it in a good way here, Radiant, as the shenanigans commence.
Yes, nicely done. And they have blocked a small camp, I think. There's a dire sentry over there. No access to that at the very least. But yeah, you're right. Pyke has just managed to munch through all these creep waves. One range creep remains.
He wishes he was Invoker right now so he could get experience for all those denies he's racking up. 6 denies already. Meanwhile, Invoker sitting at 4, so he's getting some value. That's one full creep experience right there.
Oh, the career snipe, the mace of the Spirit Breaker, long range. But now he's got the swarm on him and a TP out. Okay, no stuns coming. Even more wave dragging as well, while Moose pulls that dire wave across the small camp.
Rubik fighting against 2, but he can't stand his ground.
Straight up dead to this Troll and Bane. I mean, it's a nasty lane, double ranged. A lot of harassment coming in. I mean, Rubik can use Fade Bolt, and that's it.
Yeah, we talked about it during the draft that this lane is going to be very strong for Entity. A tough, safe lane to go up against here, but at least Pango is, somewhat decent. He's able to keep CSing. Sometimes you have to sacrifice the support.
Was it you I was talking to? No, I guess it was in another cast. But so Rubik in my head for years on years was like the best lane trader. Fade Bolt and right clicks. Rubik's going to do the job. But every hero is kind of power crept up, got stronger and stronger. And I think one of the biggest things for me was like Disruptor's laning stage, Phoenix's laning stage, getting that much better. Rubik is now in a camp for me where he's no longer even like top 5 lane traders. Like Bane beats him, Disruptor beats him, Phoenix beats him. Well, Rubik is now more of like a mid-game hero than a laning hero.
Yeah, it's not just about power creep though in Rubik's case, because he also went from having flat damage reduction to percentage damage reduction. That was the big one. So he has 5% damage reduction on level 1 Fade Bolt. That's like nothing. Nobody cares about that. Whereas previously, if you paired up Tide and Rubik, that was the old classic Tide Rubik damage reduction.
Dragon
lane.
Knight.
Yeah, something like that. Then it could be very hard to fight at all. Now, it doesn't feel like the damage reduction is a relevant part of Fade Bolt until the mid and late game.
Yeah, that's true. And he just kind of sits there. Take the heat away from this Pango as much as he possibly can. And currently, Beast Coast doing much better across their lanes than their counterparts. Weaver, of course, we've seen have a tremendous time down south. Pango's picking up a fair amount of CS, even with his Rubik dying here. Kind of a sacrifice to give Vitaly a better time. And Storm Spirit, I guess dead even with the Invoker right now. Both getting some good denies, though.
Yeah, very high deny lane, which should favor the Invoker. And if we look at experience, we can actually see that Invoker is almost level 5 already, whereas Storm half a level behind, roughly. So the advantage coming in there. Those 9 denies really add up.
The Lotus?
DM.
Again, scraping away. Just with a little bit of health. He's got a salve to fall back on now. And Kataomi looks like he's just gathered up the wave to drag it back there for them.
Very intimidating having this angry Elder Titan always looking for a chance to kill you down here, but they're doing fine for now. They're not putting that much pressure onto the Weaver though, but yeah, the Darkseer wishes he was not bothered by this ET who again is having big impact in lane.
Punch, punch. Did I just see that correctly? Did no one glyph the mid creep wave to stop the tornado killing the range creep? I think that's what happened.
Yeah, I think he did.
I just love these little plays. Like, you know, who cares about glyph the first 10 minutes? Mid players, that's it. We use it for diving towers and denying creeps.
Dude, every game, you gotta grief your opponent mid with a glyph.
Yep.
That's also getting under a lot of people's skin. People are like, why would you waste glyph like that? Yeah, some mid players really get thrown off because they miss a banner creep or something for it.
Well, Spirit Break, yep, Iron Shell on him, but yet to make a move. Looks like he's just going to be farming the small camp in behind enemy lines, try and get what he can. But they are sending Bane down bottom. Fishman's going to pop through the twin gate. And this could be an opening onto the Weaver.
Yeah, they want Weaver.
Difficult kill to get. He used Shikuchi quite early there. Raindrops, a bit of protection. The vacuum misses. Now ET going to try and turn this one around. They don't know the Bane is coming in, though. So the second round of attack here from Entity, I don't know if this is going to culminate in anything. They've even got TP rotation now from Beast Coast. And they decide that's not worth it. They cancel it and just turn onto Fishman. Big damage from moves, big punches, lay it in thick. Well, you got 200 damage on his Elder Titan, just whacking people. Pike, Shikuchi away, 10 stick charges, he's absolutely fine. Entity with a failed move here, going to try and charge back into moves again. Not sure they can actually bring him down. Just a bit of chip damage there.
Watch out the smacks.
The smacks are coming again. 125 bonus damage, going to give them a bonus kill.
Yeah, they'll take it. A trade 1-for-1 there, so of course Darkseer gets something as well. Not the worst for them, but yeah, really good fight bottom there, not having to bring in the Invoker. Good understanding. Invoker could have TP'd. He didn't get cancelled by an opponent. He just said, yeah, you know what? You don't need me.
Can they kill this Weaver here? They can with Fishman. So in the end, a 2-for-2 in a 3v2 situation. Finally, Entity get the kill they came for. And in that mid lane, looks like Spirit Breaker trying to help out no one because El Misho's come in here. Another Tornado EMP into lift. Cold Snap, very well done. No one is level 6, tries to turn and fight here with the Remnants, but still dies. Probably realized he couldn't ball lightning far enough away. And Lumpy with his urn. And bring in Watson in here. Troll, he wants to kill off El Misho. Blood grenade chucked at him. Fishman yet again joining the fray. Some chaotic, hectic action in this first 7 minutes.
Yeah, and look at Invoker just running under the Fishman. Bane here, of course. Again, gonna take his mana away. Feels so bad getting EMP'd. At that point, he was running top right now, but without any mana at all on Bane. Do you really want to do that? Maybe you just go base. He's actually gonna run to Storm, who might bottle him. Nah, too far away.
It's just really painful being cold snapped as well. You know, you're an Earthshaker or a Bane or something. It's like, can't Fisher, can't Nightmare. I'm lifting my hands. I'm trying to cast spells.
Yeah.
It's not just stopping you.
Yeah, some heroes really suffer to it. Fishman has run top, but again, like I said, very low mana pool. He only has one spell with his magic stick here. Tango even thinking about doing something under tower here. That's the ulti, of course.
Yeah, it's been a pretty good job here of like Beast Coast winning out in other lanes, causing noise elsewhere, and giving this Pango a better time than I expected. Against the Bane and a Troll, I thought Pango would be, you know, down at 2,000 net worth, struggling to hit level 6. But he's here up in the top 3. Double brace already. And they'll just dive under this tower for Fishman. And Vitali, with the help of the Rubik and the Elder Titan, swing into action. I mean, Fishman's going to drag their attention, try to deny himself to neutrals, but that's a kill for the Pango.
Tries to giant to neutrals, but instead you just increase the efficiency. Now they just farm with shield crash as well as killing you. So Pango having a very good start now after what was a tough lane at first. But now him and the Weaver leading the way in CS. So see Darkseer starting to use the Ancients a little bit here. Try and come back into the game. It is something that Darkseer can do, but it's not really like ideal. You generally want to be pushing lane and farming jungle a lot as Darkseer. This is more a last resort kind of thing.
And look at this Invoker. It's 9 minutes in. He doesn't have an urn charge, which is a little bit awkward, but he's looking at Watson. What have we got? 4, 2. So 1 point is being held by the Troll for that battle trance if he needs it. And the scan there from the Dire as well, going to give the read. They understand something wasn't quite right as Beast Coast had 4 members up top. A little bit sad for the Invoker there.
You can always see as well before they put a point. You can see if their talent tree is like flickering, if they have leveled something or not. It's an easy way to tell if they're holding a skill point.
Correct. You're absolutely correct. Shiny golden talent tree. Look at me.
Yeah, pick a talent. You're level 7. Imagine we get like level 5 talent next. Just add more stuff. Get the choice to skip an ability. Is it level 3? You can't do it level 1. I think level 3 is the earliest you can put a point.
I really can't remember.
Yeah. I am so sad I took it away on level 1. Anyway.
Moose down the bottom taking a chunk of damage. Gripped up now as well. They've killed off Kataomi and traded out for the Elder Titan. And Vitaly trying to roll across, but it's a Storm grabbing a regen rune. Fortunately for no one there. To be able to get himself away from danger.
Lucky find regen or haste. Pretty badly needed there for him to get away. He's gonna get out of this place and farm really fast in jungle with the regen as well. So he's happy and fight ready.
That's earn charges now for the Invoker though, so Lumpy's gonna have a nicer time when he's making these Ghost Walk rotations. Now it looks like down the bottom they're trying to set up onto this Dark Seer. No, just a stomp to let Pyke farm. It's a farming move from the ET. Protect the Weaver at all costs. And Vitaly is the one to die to that Storm Spirit and Troll up at top.
That's a big kill. Storm needs to get involved in some kills like this. Generally a hero that wants to accelerate his kills nowadays, especially with the Bloodstone that he got built into himself. He's basically got a passive Bloodstone, right? So he's getting a little bit galvanized here.
Strengthen himself. Get that mana regen going.
It really adds up if you get a few kills.
And it could be looking for even more of those down the line with that Orchid build. And he's still a fair distance from it. No, it's like 2,000 gold away. So when he has it, a potent threat on the map here for Entity.
Misho got the D-ward, but he got the D-ward by putting an Observer Ward on the high ground cliff. So I think Entity might return the favor and D-ward that cliff afterwards.
Well, it's felt like Beast Coast, you know, great laning stage, done very well. Things have been kind of comfortable for them. Entity, though, coming down bottom, held back by the Tornado. They do jump the Invoker with another strike on the charge, and now Storm Spirit arrives. So this is the thing, suddenly out of nowhere, there's 5 heroes here. Entity blow up a couple, and they're the ones with the 2k net worth lead. It's felt like they've been behind this game.
They still have been farming really well. They've been behind a little bit in having to give up some things. What is that Rubik's Remnant? Jesus.
It's massive!
Yeah, it's massive. It's also flickering out a lot. I guess he has the AoE increase facets, so he's going to have big spells. I wonder if there's some cool stuff he can steal. Vacuum, I guess, with big spells? Just have an enormous vacuum.
I mean, if it works on Remnant like that, does it work on like Tombstone and Supernova like that? You have a massive Tombstone.
Oh, Supernova, yes, I think. Tombstone, maybe? I'm not sure about that. But yeah, it has very funny interactions. Played around with it a little bit already. I found the spell to be very good that I didn't expect was the Avalanche from Tiny. It's just enormous if you get a few spell cast. And it's a very annoying stun to get caught by.
That sounds huge.
He's hovering the area here on Rubik. Sees the Bane.
Anyway, suddenly things have flipped now. I'm trying to charge in with a Rubik. Nice nightmare to try and dodge the danger. Fishman has a brain sap and a bit of healing out of his magic wand to stay alive. No one has killed off Vitaly in the meantime, while the Weaver going deep for the Bane kill and not able to even get it. Pyke now has to try and shift away because Entity have held their ground, kill the Pango, and Troll just goes straight back to farming.
Fishman, he knows his limits on Bane. You know, if there's any player who has a lot of games on Bane, it is this guy. He loves playing it, has been doing so for a long time. Pushing himself to the absolute limit there. Nice dodge with the Nightmare and gets out safe.
So what's kind of gone wrong for Beast Coast here? Because kind of transitioning from laning stage, they were top, you know, out of the top 5 net worth, their 3 heroes were up there looking very good. Now Invoker's kind of slipped a little bit. Yeah,
I feel like it's the Invoker rotations haven't really worked out. That's the big component, like you mentioned there, because he's the one they have to play around. He needs to find kills, and he's only been involved in 2 kills all game long. So I think the only one they can really hinge on is him, because he have a little bit funky support. You know, ET he can somewhat set up, but it's not that great. Yeah, I see that theft going on, and not only that, they're sticking around a little bit, making sure that Storm gets the rune, and they're still turning this into a smoke gang into the enemy triangle. Not gonna be lucky enough to find anyone though.
And DM got the other one. And Beast Coast caught napping a little bit by Entity now.
Yeah, they are. And this is a good timing, right? This is the power spike the Entity want to play for. They went for the Orchid on Storm. We talked about it during the draft earlier, how the timing on Orchid is very strong early on until you get those counter items. Weaver only has a Maelstrom so far, so right now, Storm is very strong.
Yeah, right. There's nothing to protect any of them. You know, Pango's not going to buy Manta or BKB or
Invoker's
anything.
in.
And the Invoker, he will get there with Vitaly onto the Bane. And Fishman, the first point of contact, going to get blown up there. beastcoast just holding this Dire Ancients area for quite some time now, trying to boot Watson away from that safe and efficient farm.
Yeah. Meanwhile, no one is just farming on the enemy Ancients. He's kind of confused how nobody's here yet, but he's going to find Moose. That could be a kill, running into a Solo Storm.
Yeah, I mean, this Orchid, with the help of the Spirit Breaker, global initiation, easy pick-off potential. I see if they can
more
transfer this
galvanized.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Every kill just adds up.
He's up to 10 now on it, so yeah. Mana regen passively at 14.0 now. That's pretty good at 15 minutes, almost 1 mana regen per minute. Keep that pace up and you'll have a pretty good regen.
That's not too bad. Now we can push out wave, go back to farming jungle. There's a kill on a support, so not able to really transfer that into a hardcore tier 1 push, as neither of these teams really want to make that first step just yet. If something comes their way, sure, they'll fight back, give a couple of punches, but right now it's all about farming up the troll, getting yourself ready with a Darkseer to really get into these mid-game battles. While beastcoast, we talked about their potential to scale into that mid to late game. I don't feel they're struggling or scrambling. They're patiently getting their Weaver ready as well. And are we going to be looking at BKB timings for beastcoast?
Yeah, it might be. I feel like they're falling a little bit into a trap of we have to be active with our Invoker here. Okay, they will get the Spear Breaker, it looks like here. He does get all the way on top of him on the Invoker. Gonna set up with the ulti too.
That's nice. Charge cancelled by the lift as well.
This was very needed though. They've invested so much time and resources into running around and ganking with the Invoker. Even with this kill, he's still very far behind the other cores.
Invoker going to show himself down bottom immediately. Nightmared up. EMP with a combo going onto this Bane, and Rubik was also charging across the map. He's charging onto the Darkseer though, as Vitaly tries to finish off Fishman. Misses the Swashbuckle though, needs to go in with the raw right clicks. Rubik did connect that charge onto Darkseer, but he's going to come back across to help out kill the Bane. Wasn't really needed in the end.
And importantly, they can go in now and try and steal some from the triangle here. There's even a double stack on the Ancients. The Troll was gonna farm, but since people died, he had to abandon the area, give away this farm to beastcoast. beastcoast swing back a little bit after they've been struggling, what I would say, connecting in the early game here. At the same time, though, the Storm is finishing up Kaya, so he's gonna amp up that mana regen even more. He's being charged right now.
He is indeed. Well, is there also a case to be made that beastcoast are now very afraid of this Storm Spirit Breaker, so they have to group as 5? Like, can the Weaver actually pre-Lincolns go and do the split push stuff on side lanes?
No, not really. He can't do it completely alone. That's why he's like all the time trying to read where the Storm is, and he's playing on the opposite side, or he plays where the Storm is only if he has friends nearby. So Pake has a really hard game in this, just reading the map.
Understanding where he needs to be and where he needs to not be, as he does turn around, and a lot of damage onto Katomi there, thanks to Vitaly with his Rolling Thunder. Trying to crash into the backline there. Watson, though, with DM, the vacuum wall, Gleipnir connect. Massive stuff from Entity to bring the Weaver down. They've got a return wall, but doesn't really hit anybody. And Entity will get a bonus there onto Moses ET.
That was such a nice patience coming out from Entity. You could see how they were just saying, okay, we lost one, but we can reset this. And all of them kind of just formed a concave waiting for beastcoast to run in. And when the Weaver full commits like that, the Orchid is a serious threat. You don't have a saving support right now. You don't have anyone dispelling you. You don't have an item. So you have to be very careful about this Storm. You don't have vision on him.
Yeah, no one is like out of control right now. I mean, here it starts like, okay, there's a DD rune, Weaver wants it, turn around, kill the Spirit Breaker.
It looks good. At this point, it looks really nice, but they get a little bit too confident here going up. And look at the sentry. That sentry, MVP right there. They didn't have the sentry down, no way they can do this, but they see the Weaver all the way, go right after Shikuchi. Meanwhile, back in the game, they're going on Weaver again.
Well, he's nightmared. Have they got vision of him? Pike trying to get back in the trees, but Vortex dragged back with a vacuum, the kill again. And this is the issue now. Entity just snowballing out of contention in this game, number one. 6k lead. The chat wheel line, but it just says it all, right? Dropping them all.
Yeah.
Killing off that Weaver is massive.
Yeah, it's huge. And now Storm even building even more. He got the Kaya complete and more kills. So looking like he's got 24.2 now. It's, you know, that's a lot of battery. Top lane. There's a charge on the Pango, but he's going to wisely TP out.
And this is kind of the normal build for Pango now, right? This Echo Saber, Blink Dagger. Do you want to see something? What do you want to see next from him? Aghanim Scepter?
Yeah, I feel Aghanim's is really, really good. And the Blink makes sense to be able to like quickly get on top of the Bane, stop his Fiend's Grip, or catch the Storm. So I kind of like it here. Otherwise, I would say Echo Saber into Aghanim's without Blink is probably more normal this patch. But in the game, it makes sense to have the Blink Dagger. But yeah, he's going for a Lotus next. It is a fantastic Lotus game against Bane, Spearbreaker, Storm. I don't know if it's the item that that you want to build on your offlaner though. It feels kind of bad.
Yeah, I mean, I guess thinking about how and if and when they're going to win this game, right? At some point, you're going to have to go high ground. And who is your high ground hero? Weaver's going to go up and hit tier 3s. Buy Linken's on Weaver, put Lotus on him.
True.
You need all the protection in the world for this. Like Alacrity, Lotus, Linken's, buy a Solar Crest, just put everything on Weaver.
It's also to protect people from the Orchid of Storm immediately.
Yeah.
So he's going to get caught right now. Blinks quickly, but cancel the charge.
Oh, okay. A little bit too deep for them there. On a stolen wall. Sunstrike coming in. DM is backing them up here, though, with that potential turnaround. Yeah. Another double Wisdom Rune, though, for Entity.
That was some fast reaction by Vitaly. If he didn't react that fast, he would have definitely died. Actually, Spearbreaker did charge him, but as he blinked down and Storm jumped up, he decided quickly to cancel that.
Rolling Thunder Blink, connecting onto the Storm and the Darkseer. No one feeling pretty safe here, just holding his ground and waiting for the rest of the team to come in, which is a charge onto the Pango. And Darkseer, you're right, has Greaves still alive, but doesn't get to use them. A chain control well done there from Beast Coast to kill off DM.
Not gonna stay alive. Lumpy actually walks on top of the invisible Spiritbreaker here, but there's no way of knowing that, of course. Spiritbreaker with the Shadow Blade.
Oh, okay, they got him with the Gleipnir. I don't know if the Sunstrike gave vision, but they definitely knew where he was. No one with his Galvanize, though. Tons of mana regen. 24. Still not going to be able to slip away from this, surely.
No,
into the creep
no way.
wave, and then he'll die. No way of escaping. And Beast Coast, important moves here.
Yeah, big takedown. Surprised that he stuck around for that long even. That's a 1100 gold kill there as well. Going the way of Vitaly getting a lot for himself and his teammates. A little bit of signs of life here, because otherwise it was looking like Entity are just taking over the game. And this is what you need. You need to get kills. You need to get kills where Invoker is involved, so that he doesn't keep falling behind here.
Yeah, the story of this game has been Beast Coast just bring 5 to every fight. You know, if you see a Storm or a Spirit Breaker, like you've been saying, there is backup coming.
Most likely. And we see big rotation bottom now. Rubik gonna get caught out as he was trying to smoke reveal, but that does mean the Roche attempt is thwarted here, and maybe they will go for it themselves. They have Troll.
They do.
Against the ET is very scary though. You can just send Spirit in.
There's Troll with BKB now as well. And the ET Spirit is used with a Stomp, so yeah, they move into Roche. Watson, realizing there's a window of opportunity here now. Where are Beast Coast going?
They're just leaving. They're looking for Storm. They're hunting Storm right now, saying they don't want to fight in the Roche pit, but that's a big decision to just give away this Roche. I thought they could contest this some way, but it looks like they have no intention of doing so.
Yeah, looks like the call was made. I mean, right or wrong, they did everything together.
Yeah, I mean, it's a BKB timing on Troll. They're respecting that Troll was super strong, and that could have been a very dangerous fight. If they lose a Roche fight right there, that could just, you know, spell disaster.
And then Storm shows on that top ward, and Beast Coast are like, ah, shit, he's up here the whole time.
They were hunting, but they didn't find him. No one farming at the right place. He, by the way, is going for a BKB as well, so no one is just 600 gold away from his own BKB. Pango has the entire Lotus Orb now as well, like we talked about. Very big timing for him.
Radiant's top tower is
Other than that, Weaver's still waiting to get his BKB. He hasn't committed to any of the items, but he is the recipe away. He's now queuing up Linken's instead. Changed his mind. And then he bought the Perseverance and then sold it, and then queued up the BKB again. He's changing his mind a lot here. BKB is going to be the final choice,
Radiant's
I
top
believe.
tower
Unless he
is
sells the
under
items again here.
What do I want? I want this. I want that. No, back to this again.
It's the shopper's regret or something. The anxiety. What do I get?
Buyer's regret, yeah.
Yeah, that's the
I
one.
also saw that Invoker, first time this patch buying boots of travel. I guess Invoker is just so rare nowadays
Radiant's top
that we've
tower
not
is under
seen him
attack.
buy bots.
I mean, it's a pretty common item for Invoker. It's
Yeah.
more that, yeah, more Invokers just not played
Radiant's
that
top
much.
tower has fallen.
He definitely keeps himself in the game. That's always the struggle with Wax Invoker. And no matter what patch it is, falling behind definitely something you've got to be aware of. He's not
Look at
too
the
far.
speed on this boy. Does he still go down?
In and out. Oh, vacuum wall drop. Not quite landing as DM had intended.
Nice.
It looks like it's kept Katomi alive though with a nice grip out of Fishman. They've called up the Pango. The cancel there with the Tornado does come into play. And Vitali trying to finish off Katomi here, but the Nightmare save again just to make sure Spirit Breaker stays alive.
This is where you feel some regret as Beast Coast because you picked Pango into the Bane. Bane is usually picked as a counter pick to Pango, right? Or at least I believe it was that order. Because Weaver went first. Yeah, they did. So we see him get big value there with the Fiend Script.
It's been a pretty hard game.
Radiant's middle tower.
I mean, like, Vitali's top of the net worth, and it feels like they've given him a lot of space and a lot of the room on this map to kind of do good things. But you'd much prefer this Invoker be up there rather than the Pango, it feels like.
Yeah, I mean, all this net worth on Pango, it's still, you know, still you're just going to be rolling around in a team fight, right? It's one of those, it doesn't matter what items you have if you're just going to be doing the same thing anyway. That's why Aghanims can be very appealing to have on Pango, because you're now doing more damage while you're rolling around. You're starting to get more value out of the shield crashes. But, of course, itemization is understandable in this game. I just don't think that he's going to be the solution for Beast Coast to get back into this game. This troll is getting enormous, and nobody can man-fight him right now. So they need plenty of items on Invoker and on the Weaver to be able to kite here. Now, Weaver, good news, is only 10 gold away from the BKB. So he's finally going to feel like, okay, I don't just die to an Orchid. But you know who does die to an Orchid? It's Moose.
It's the Elder Titan. Yeah, it's like the Orchid plus the Gleipnir of the Troll as well. They're just super nasty for this Weaver to deal with.
Radiant
It just feels like Beast Coast right now. Well, hang on a second. Does Lumpy get this connection with Pike arriving? Ah, yeah, no one has a BKB. He goes back in,
got backup.
zips on the Invoker. Backup arriving with a Spirit Breaker here. Yule Scepter and a Lotus Sword, though, buying time for Lumpy to survive. And they've got the kill on the Storm in the back. Lumpy still up and running. Kataomi not able to finish the job. And Pike should be able to here with a Shikuchi to chase him down and kill off the Spirit Breaker. A killing spree for the Invoker. Beast Coast fighting back as it has honestly... Okay, Fishman TP's out there. It's felt like Entity have this, steamroller, movement forward. It's an unstoppable object, and Beast Coast is starting to put up some brick walls.
Yeah, good stuff from Beast Coast. You could see Entity get a little bit overconfident there, saying, okay, we already killed ET, we can keep fighting here, but they didn't have Troll anywhere in the area, so you're not playing with your Aegis carrier, and all of Beast Coast went together and fought off the intruders of Entity there. So get another valuable takedown on the Storm Spirit, and even just a kill on the Spear Breaker. That's 800 gold. You see again the Pango chasing after, and the Blink, like we mentioned, very good for getting on top of the Storm. Slippery fella. Moose again in trouble. Bottom now, getting run at by Watson, who's got S and Y.
Ooh, good full staff there.
This is a tier 1 neutral item as well in this troll. Surely there has to be something better for you in the tier 2, Watson.
He'll find something. Just wait for tier 2 items are garbage. Just wait
Straight into tier 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an investment. Skip it.
But honestly, I find myself doing that quite often nowadays. If I don't find Philosopher's Stone in tier 2 item, I'm like, screw it, I'm keeping my Fairy's Trinket or whatever it is I've got on my my Seeds of Serenity.
The Seeds of Serenity is a good one. I mean, it's a very nice item to have. They buffed it so many times. But yeah, it looks like he finally will get something something more valuable. He's actually... Did he send out the tier 2 item now? No, he just sent home the tier 1 item. He didn't even find a tier 3 yet.
Oh.
There we go. What does he get? Oh, the charge onto the Rubik. Can I catch him?
And down he goes. Well, that is the fear. Like you step under an observer ward at any point and you just disappear.
Yeah, they have such a solid grip on the map right now. Controlling everything. I mean, they're even farming the enemy Ancients right now. This Troll Warlord with SNY and BKB, there's no way you're gonna burst him before he clicks that thing or clicks his ulti.
All the lanes are pushed in as well. You know, was it Pango up there farming the outer ring of jungle camps? Probably needs to start thinking about cutting waves, but again, that difficulty of not knowing where the Storm or the Spirit Breaker are, it can be very difficult to get a
Meteor Hammer.
Oh, Storm. Nightmared up. Saved from a bit of that control.
It's a little bit. Yeah, sorry.
Go on. I was just going to say, like, when you get behind as Beast Coast, it's very difficult. Like, you're down at the bottom of a well with no ladder, right? You're scratching against the walls, trying to push out waves. All 3 lanes are pushing into your base. And if you try to split push and step out of base, you need to smoke as 5 to do it. So you also can't clear waves.
Oh, no, the jump again. Weaver
caught down at bottom, has the BKB up. Does Beast Coast want to turn and fight this? They've got to try and do something with this BKB. No one going to use his own one to just TP. Away we go. They've caught the Bane, though. Fisherman looks like he's going to be the sacrifice. But the fear struck into the hearts of Beast Coast there. You feel it.
Yeah, even though you won that fight, that was your 9-second BKB used on Weaver as well, so it doesn't feel fantastic for you. They did, of course, get the Storm. Storm zips all the way out for a region here, so quick trip back to base and out again. And he might want to do something with this region. Looking for anyone who can jump right now. That's a lot of region value.
This de-warding battle is so important for Beast Coast. But yeah, so what is the solution in this kind of scenario? Where if you step out to control waves and push waves, which we talked about yesterday, rule number 1 of Dota 2, right? How do you do it against Storm Spirit Breaker?
It's
like,
all 5-man Dota. You gotta do baits, you gotta do 5-man Dota a lot, which means you're gonna clump up a lot. Bottom, Storm zips in.
He's not even under a ward, he's just being scouted here. Rubik all caught up in it again. Moo's gonna get pummeled by Watson. 2 supports down once more.
Support so quickly taken out, and Weaver is out there on the map, but he's scared to go anywhere even. Like, you show on Weaver, you might immediately get charged, you might get jumped by a Storm, and right now, you probably need to be ready to come home as well, because this troll looking like he wants to knock on your door. Actually got Pango.
Oh,
Fishman found Pango.
3 in a row. The question marks above his head. But yeah, this is the thing, like, Bane is also this perfect setup. We used to see Bane with those IO strats back in the day. The Nightmare the Grip gives you the chance just to move across the map with his global prowess very quickly.
That's very true, actually. It synergizes really well with the Spirit Breaker and the Storm. The long duration of that Nightmare can really allow people to come in. They did fix Nightmare at least to not be 8 seconds duration, by the way. You know when all the stuns were reduced by 20%? Bane Nightmare, it said that it was reduced, but it wasn't. It was still 8 seconds, and I found that out after a while, and then, you know, it got fixed a little while after. It was interesting to see how he kind of slipped away.
But what it was like, it was 8 seconds on enemies, but it had the correct duration on allies, something like that. It was kind of weird.
Oh, yeah, I think allies might have been fine, which is even better for you. I mean, that's just a buff.
They're just super buffed.
Arcane Rune now on the Storm.
How many runes has no one had? Like, it feels like just all of them.
All
Entity
of them.
have had map control.
He is in so firm control of these runes. They're always on the edge of the map on the side of Beast Coast. They're not able to step into the center of the arena, so to say.
They're just meteor hammering mud golems. Like, how much fun is no one having right now?
Even buying the Meteor Hammer and, you know, pushing mid there is kind of funny. The Meteor Hammer meta is kind of off on Storm, but it's still a very cheap upgrade from the Kaya. And Kaya Sanj isn't what it used to be, so I approve. The Meteor Hammer is still, you know, worth purchasing if you want some high ground crack, I guess.
And it's also like one of the highest mana regen items in the game, right?
Oh, they're going in. The charge into them.
Weaver. Protected. And Vitaly like just jumping on him there to body block any spells coming his way.
Oh, the
That's
Sunstrike.
cool, actually.
The small victories.
Oh, yes. A bit of damage in the vision given over on the Spirit Breaker. So what, Vitaly jumped there with Lotus Orb on him to make sure that Weaver didn't get gripped, right?
Yeah.
They still jump in. Another flurry here from no one. Kill the ET with his BKB.
Very early BKB usage here.
ET has buyback. Potential here for that Roshan fight in the bottom right-hand corner. Beast Coast edging towards it, but Entity just stepping forward with DM.
Yeah, hard fight to take here for Beast Coast. They're trying to stand their ground, but meanwhile Troll is starting up the Roche, and I don't really see them being able to take this fight. They are going to buy back into it though, so they want to.
I've got to do something here. Can't just be letting them have a free Roshan. Pike is going to try and push out that bottom wave, but Kataomi has scouted out Vitaly and Storm Spirit. He zipped in pretty deep here, looking at the Invoker.
Storm is low mana though. This is kind of awkward for them. You don't have the resources for a fight on Storm.
And Roshan's like 30% health. This could get kind of awkward. Another Sunstrike for Vision. Vitali, he's thinking about this Rolling Thunder to go back in onto Fishman's Bane in the tree line, catching him out. Hang on, this Weaver getting held in place, but look at Watson just open up and shred Almisho and Moose. Destroys the two supports. Fishman is still alive. There's no way. He's finally got to die.
Troll is hunting. Gets the range bash.
Though, the Pike Weaver caught up with the roots of the bashes. Watson. The time lapse is there. Pike still caught out by the Storm Spirit though. Zip zap. Vortex in a triple for Watson. And in we go towards Vitali's Pango now as well. Give him the Ultra. Look for the Rampage. Elmisho's about to die. TM has stolen it. Yeah, monster.
How could he do something so rude? Taking away a man's Rampage. And he deserved it. He range toggled with the Berserker rage, of course. If you attack in range form and then go melee, you have a melee chance to bash. So he gets the bash trigger there as well as he was chasing down the Weaver, I believe it was right? Or was it Pango? I can't remember which one.
Yes, everyone just chased everyone, didn't they?
Yeah, we get to see a little bit of a replay here as they're going to push. But yeah, Troll so quickly disposal of the supports there. Good jump on the back line. And then we just see him go on this little ring around the Rosie down the Roche home here. Yeah, it was the Weaver. Look at this bash. Boom. Perfect.
And it felt like that tornado kind of griefed him a little bit. Bane was kept alive by the tornado. The Weaver couldn't hit him, you know, kind of delaying things, buying a bit of space and time there for Entity just to finish things up.
Targeting was a little bit weird for them overall, yeah. It didn't really feel like they had the easiest priority there for who to kill. And their damage is just a lot lower. Even though Weaver is a strong hero in his own regard, I feel like he can't compete with the speed of which the Troll disposes of the supports if he gets in there. He just hits way faster. Now going for a steal here on the Tormentor as well. I think there's no way Beast Coast can even be aware of this or do anything about it.
No, they are hemmed into their base yet again.
So Shard for the Darks here. Gets the Surge leaving a trail. This is super annoying to fight into, by the way. It is a 50% slow if you step in that trail. It is really gross. Probably one of the more underrated shards, I think, in the game.
The purple fog slowing you down. Oh, no one has bottled an amplified damage rune. And this could just be lights out for Beast Coast in game one.
Has the cheese as well, backpack ready.
Yeah, very true. 27k lead, 27 kills. Putting the Troll up on the high ground. Watson feeling very comfortable with where he's sat right now. Aegis, BKB, not a worry in the world. He steps out of the stomp and a vacuum there with a zip in as well. A good Yule Scepter from El Micho buys a little bit of space for himself to stay alive. And you've already lost your tier 3 though. And it looks like Watson is going to go for this range barracks and then the melee after.
Yeah, he's just pushing, throwing question marks here at Radiant. What are you going to do? Mana burn, going to do something, but he still has 300 mana to go, and Reeves are good for these situations.
Meteor Hammer! No one!
Yeah, he's doing his part, pushing. Troll being cautious here while the glyph is up.
So I guess this is the kind of situation where, you know, I asked a question earlier on at the end of the draft, thinking about how things play out when you're entering team fights. Entity, it's felt like, you know, everything has gone as expected. You ball lightning in after a charge, you vacuum, you set up with a nightmare, etc. Beast Coast right now, how do they start to fight? They're just kind of throwing spells and seeing what sticks.
Yeah, that's basically a threat right now. It's very difficult. It's not clear who's going to go in first. Basically, it has to be Pango. Nice 3-man vacuum. What's the Storm Aghanim's?
In we come. Storm trying to get in a little deeper there if they killed the ET, but no one has to pop the cheese, and BKB stands his ground and thinks about fighting, but it's barracks and buildings they came for. So Watson going to shred through a second lane as he shifts right down into bottom as well. Man, chuck tornadoes at him, throw some EMPs his way. Watson must attempt on the nightmare.
Yeah, trying to dodge it. Doesn't really land. Gets the range bash on the Weaver, who, you know, dared step close. Another 3-man back.
Storm is here as well. The BKB's on the Beast Coast, but I don't know if it matters all that much. Ice Wall there is irritating for Watson with a meatball dropped on his head. But again, this is a 2-life Troll with BKB still in hand. Pango all gripped up, trying to Rolling Thunder, crashing onto Watson, but he gets out the BKB just in time to bash into the Pangolier, kill him off. Everybody's dead, and GG's called by Beast Coast. Entity with an incredible Game 1 victory.
Yeah, fantastic. Very, very controlled throughout the game. There were moments where Beast Coast, you know, they were doing some stuff. They were managing to find a few pickoffs with the Invoker. But for all the time invested in running around, they did not find I mean, I'm not doing that mid-team fight. That's not the time. But sometimes you like cruise control, you know? It's nice.
I can't remember what it was. I think playing Warcraft 3 and like Age of Empires and stuff, I always got really pissed off at edge pan. So in Dota, one of the first things I did was like learn to play without edge panning. I'd disable it. Like putting my cursor at the edge of the screen, I do not want it to move. Yeah. I am a middle mouse click only gamer.
Yeah, honestly, middle mouse click is really good. The click and drag. We have Kataomi walking into a few here, but he should probably be fine. He has the boots on Spear Breaker, so I'm not feeling too worried.
And what was that? The sentry blocking the ancient camp over to the far left side as well.
Yeah, a little bit of farm prevention here, as we did see Darkseer rely on the Ancients last time. And they also put an Observer Ward to spot the Ancients on the other camp being stacked up. So they saw the Darkseer came back into the game after a bad laning stage by using the Ancients.
The battle begins.
Pike and Moose. Nice Shikuchi to grab the bounty rune. Fishman down
in
the bottom
trouble.
might actually be in big trouble, surrounded by 3 members of Beast Coast. Lumpy would love this kill. Oh,
Pushback.
Pushback. Oh, that's good. So it doesn't give it to the Pangolier, which would have been great for Beast Coast there.
But it pushed him back towards his mid lane efficiency. He gets to where he wants to go anyway, so they do get the kill. No trouble there. And well, first blood over on one of your supports always feels good. Gets to have an early Null Talisman from the start here for SD. So nice mana region.
That's pretty cool. Void spread against Pango in the mid lane. Both very good attack animations. Both universal
Super
heroes.
fast.
This is like a very close matchup between the two of them.
Yeah. Oh, creeps are all low. Gets 2 CS on that Pango. Top lane, we do have the Weaver, of course. Strong laner here, so we might see shenanigans coming out from the Darkseer
Fishman
lane.
He's in trouble again. You're a Radiant player. That's the dire side of the river, my friend. Where are you going? Dragging Vitali pretty far away, but still dying there. It's 2 kills to the good. Beast Coast kill Fishman yet again.
Wow. That leaves Watson alone for a long time down here, though. He's dead with no TP. 40 seconds cooldown on this teleport, so this is really gonna... You know, Morphling is the one who's gonna pay the price for this.
That's painful. And up at top, a bit of dragging around. Kataomi going to give DM the creep wave. Moose and Pike just trying to step up and do what damage they can. Again, so far, decent stuff for Beast Coast. You look at Slardar's last hit values, though, 2 and 1. He's had to waste a bit of time kind of chasing the Disruptor down. He's putting pressure on Watson. But yeah, not getting as many last hits as he would have liked.
Yeah, but he's pulling ahead a little bit now. So of course the Morphling is alone, being bullied here. Power CSing coming in. 2 heroes versus 1, getting every single deny, every single last hit. Watson is crying, right? He's like, why would you get out of position? I'm the one who has to suffer.
And Fishman's just like, I'm dead. I'm chilling in Fountain. Just watching the suffering happen. Not easy times for this Morphling down bot.
Yeah, the fact that he has Glimpse level 1 on Fishman as well means that he can't that easily trade into this SD right now. Glimpse is pretty common level 1 skill, but here he really would want to have the Thunderstrike, I feel, to be able to fight.
I might just look at that, a bash into a couple of punches. Watson straight down to like 30% HP. And this should be a double wave for the Radiant, going to be pushing pretty close to that dire tier 1 tower, so a long lane there. Fishman and Watson going to have some struggles.
Yeah, it's all coming back to the first blood, really. Or, well, more importantly, the second kill, I guess. But Fishman has a lot of work to do to recover this lane.
And Morphling Illusion's very strong from this disruption as well. Give it a trip damage there onto Fishman.
Yeah. So Lotus coming up. Both teams fighting for it a little bit here as Fishman wants to go over.
The glimpse away. Slardar, get out of here. Elmisho and Fishman. It goes to the disruptor. Fishman grabs it.
Yeah. Up on top lane as well. It's going to go the way of the clockwork, so Dire get their hands on it there.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Morphling really down in the dumps. 7 and 5. Pango Weaver, the winners out of their lanes. 16 last hits, 3 denies for them. And up at top, forcing DM to expend his entire mana pool just to sprint away from this clockwork, who is really just getting up in their face at any given moment.
Yeah, really. Top lane trading a lot here, using the Iron Shell whenever they can to try and have favorable fights on the side of Radiant. But it is Dire who are a little bit stronger in the lane. Weaver doing his best, landing a lot of auto attacks here. The 17% comes in.
Yeah.
All your hard work just gone. One bash and suddenly they were up the exchange.
I'll trade with you. My RNG is better. 11 denies on a Slardar though. Like, yeah, Disruptor dying a couple of times, but Vitaly doing an exceptional job, really just stacking up the pain and despair there in that bottom lane.
Has been killed.
Yeah, two of them did a great job just power ceasing together, and now we have a bit of chase glimpse. Gonna keep him safe here.
And DM
Dire's bottom
has the
tower
bug on him, and a
is
battery assault's come in.
Ooh, he's trapped.
Trapped inside the cogs, and down he goes, it looks like. But hang on, the Weaver stuck on the left-hand side, couldn't get through the cogs, doesn't get the damage in, so Darkseer survives.
Wow, he got blocked by his allied cog there. I guess it perfectly blocked the little path through there between the tree. So that looked like it should have been a sure kill, but because of him being trapped on the wrong side there, he actually gets to live.
And with a Blood Grenade Iron Shell there, Spirit Breaker, the kind of hidden damage from him. Didn't need a bash or anything like that, just chases him down with the Iron Shell. Tickle the Clockwork to death.
And that's going to be a good feeling for the Darkseer as he's running back to base. He gets that kill. Almost has mana boots now.
Weaver left a little alone up top and pretty low HP.
So yeah, TP bot a refill to mid, so refill for the Pangolier. Gonna get some love here from the Clockwork.
No one's still level 5, but never really going to be under too much threat of dying in this mid lane. Dissimulate's always going to protect him against the Clockwork. And maybe we'll see that move around 6 minutes to come in for this active rune. In fact, we're already seeing that move, right?
Yeah, they're sitting there just kind of controlling the preemptive ward here, but it was spotted by the Clockwork. They already had a ward overseeing all of this.
The double die, the double die ward in the Ancients in that top little spot. Katomi gets his Observer down. In 20 seconds to come, we've also got Shadow Demon making a pretty early move, but Shadow Demon very adept at kind of stacking and getting other stuff done while he's wandering around.
Yeah. Oh, did he not check him? He has a sentry on the Clockwork, but he hasn't dewarded this yet. He's waiting. Or maybe he's baiting the Void Spirit to come here.
Right, come for the rune, boys. Who. Clockwork with the cogs. Remnants there, and the Arcane Rune bottled by no one. Moo's gonna walk it off.
Yeah. Morphling is starting to recover a little bit in jungle now. He is starting to farm a little bit faster, has the gloves, and full power threads is coming out on his courier.
It really does feel very similar to game 1, though. This kind of, Beast Coast winning the lanes and getting themselves into a good spot now. But Entity, the net lead isn't that drastic. They're not completely losing out. They're finding little scraps of farming here and there and keeping themselves competitive in this game.
Yeah. So surprised Moose didn't find that ward. He actually didn't see the one planted in river. I guess he just didn't click the Spirit Breaker before he checked the rune there.
Okay, yeah.
He went in and blocked the camp instead. Unless he has another sentry to D-ward with, but I don't see why we would pass up on a D-ward.
Oh, Wisdom Rune time. Fishman. Yeah, he stepped up again.
Oh,
He's going to find Lumpy and Alicia here. What is this, the third kill for Beast Coast is going to be the third death for Fishman's Disruptor.
Yeah, it's all Fishman. The good thing is it's all Fishman. The bad thing is it's all Fishman. So at least the water boy of Morphling, he is farming away. Meanwhile, getting some space during this, but they're starting to bleed a little bit too much on this Disruptor.
Look at that, like a full minute difference there to hit level 6. No one coming out ahead in a few of those stats as well. And now he'll get his first bottle refill from Disruptor, so that will even up that stat. Move from Lumpy down to bottom, though. Slardar and Pango both level 6, and with the Catapult, getting some good damage on this tier 1 bottom, which has just been left completely alone. But that means Entity can make moves elsewhere, snipe out moves in that mid lane, and put a bit of pressure of their own onto a tower. Well, up at top, DM has no surge, so Pike is going to chase this one down. Swarm was
actually dropping pretty fast here,
Shikuchi,
but the double Iron
Shell with the creeps on him. Pike time lapses away. Close, too close for my comfort. As Pango will roll into the mid lane. Fishman yet again being found here. El Misho with Lumpy trying to snipe him out. No one in Katomi returning fire
huge
quite
barrier.
Nicely. It's a shielded up Pango that cannot be touched anymore, and Moose is going to trap Katomi inside the cogs now. Poisons are being stacked up. Lumpy will come in with another swash and crash probably in a second. A good charge to bonk them back though, and Lumpy not wanting to dive any deeper. Moose is dropping lower and lower here to no one who kills him off, and a swashbuckle kind of short range there, allowing Void Spirit to drag him back with a Remnant, and the Sentry Ward gives a lot of coverage here to allow them to go in even deeper, but Vitaly has arrived. The crush to save the life of Lumpy, keep the Pango up and running, and Elmisha
they're dropping low on Radiant.
The poisons that run out of mana on the dire side though. Shadow Demon can't offer too much, but the Weaver has come in. Everybody and their mums in the mid lane. lane trying to fight around these rune spawns and tier 1 towers. Kata only drops the glimpses there to maybe protect no one. Buy a bit of time for the Void Spirit to get another bottle refill and stay alive.
Yeah, he stays alive, but he can't really do too much here, just getting run at by so many heroes from Beast Coast. And we see this is Beast Coast kind of doing what Entity were doing in the previous game, just finding each other on the map, having a lot of aggressive heroes just run in and punish. So Entity a little bit down the exchange there, and Beast Coast, you know, good utilization of the Slardar coming in as well there.
Just everyone coming, like Slardar joins.
Yeah, Weaver picked up a kill.
Again.
Yeah,
Weaver suddenly there.
Yeah, everyone got paid basically for coming in there as well. The Slardar helped get the kill on the Darkseer.
Disruption. Protects him from the glimpse, but not from the Morphling and the Blood Grenade. Vitaly realizing very quickly that's not where he wants to be. Still being charged at here as Elmisho jukes around the trees. The Shadow Demon surviving, but Vitaly might not be so lucky. He's been surrounded and caught up by these maneuverable core heroes to kill him off, and Elmisho does get found by Fishman in the end.
Finally does go down, slowly chasing him around the corner there. I'm sure he knows about the ward on the cliff there. Put his own observer on the ground to try and see him around the tree line, by the way. Okay, he does find a ward on the cliff as well.
Yeah, Rolling Thunder up at top. Nets them a kill on the docks here. So Beast Coast at least getting something on the map there. As they lose a couple of heroes bottom.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
On a pretty good game. Top of the net worth by about 700 gold. That's where this Weaver needs to be, though.
Yeah, Weaver doesn't really scale as hard as a Morphling going into the late game, so he definitely wants to have a strong start here and start doing stuff as early as he can. So Gleipnir Rush probably going to be the build, and then look for him to start hunting this Void Spirit.
A Void Spirit who, like you said, goes straight into the Agnum Scepter. And another layer of silence against all these heroes is super handy.
It's a very good item. When you're a universal hero, you get a lot of damage from it as well, so it's going to help him do something in these fights. I'm trying to get level 6 on Fishman right now. It's 11 minutes in, still don't have that Disruptor ulti. Similarly, Clockwork, pretty far away from level 6, by the way. He is level 5 and barely any experience on top of it.
Yeah, 11 minutes in.
That's when you come mid, you know, the great pilgrimage for the level 5 heroes, the low level heroes. They always come mid and sit there and look at the creep waves.
Send a rocket flare from time to time.
Yeah.
Nobody look, don't perceive me, don't look at me. I'm not here.
He is on food stamps right now. Spearbreaker a little bit more confident, has that level 6, so he's sitting mid, but also getting to farm mid. SD, kind of smoke protecting here, but he might get jumped anyway.
Well, Misho breaks the smoke and walks straight into a Static Storm. Got the banish off on the Void Spirit, a Pango roll, causing a few problems. Great cogs there, allowing the Pango to bash and bonk into Fisherman's Disruptor. Swashbuckle back up, but Lumpy, disengage out from no one, gets the distance, turns into a little piggy. Vitaly, though, chasing this, but a good wall there. A bit more protection as well for no one to drop a Remnant and skip away to safety for now. Again, the supports, the casualties, a 2-for-1 there as Shadow Demon trades out for a Disruptor and Spirit Breaker.
It was a lot of resources to bring down a Shadow Demon as well. They dropped the Disruptor ulti immediately on him, and then the Spirit Breaker also committed ulti. I'm not even sure he had to ulti him there, because he was kind of ticking down. But they do get one kill, but definitely not what they want. Now mid tower, getting slapped a few times, you know, Beast Coast not playing any sort of slow Dota, starting to play very, very vigilant on the map.
He got that banish off just in time before the Static Storm.
Yeah.
Bought a little bit of time for him. And he had that Nether Strike on like 1 HP.
Yeah, I feel like he was, you know, dead no matter what there, but either way, I think that fight was gonna look a little bit weird for him anyway, since they dropped the Disruptor ulti like that. Mid tower now starting to go down. Beast Coast just sieging down. No response yet from Entity. They don't have the power spikes. Is he going for this Agnum's first item on Void Spirit? He's kind of far away from a power spike. Morphling just wants everybody to forget about him, you know, like he had a tough day in the laning stage, so he just wants to have like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, you know, as much as he can get to recover in ulti like that. Mid tower now starting to go down. Beast Coast just sieging down. No response yet from Entity. They don't have the power spikes. As you're going for this Agnum's first item on Void Spirit, he's kind of far away from a power spike. Morphling just wants everybody to forget about him, you know, like he had a tough day in the laning stage, so he just wants to have like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, you know, as much as he can get to recover into this game.
Yeah, he just wants to sit down with his Big Mac, watch his favorite streamer, have a bit of alone time. You know, you go into that flow state of eating and watching.
Yeah, Watson is literally just muting Discord right now. You know, he's not listening to people.
Nice hook shot in from Moose. Sets things up onto DM with a Demonic Purge to follow, and even a Rolling Thunder here.
Oh my god, the pinball machine.
Kill off the Darks here with some good cogs there. And 4 members rotate top, 3 ultis, kill Darks here, and pressure tier 1. Steal a Wisdom Rune as well, hey? Couple of seconds until that spawns. It all clicks very nicely into place for Beast Coast.
Yeah, they do get to steal, but at the same time, there's a little bit of theft going the other way here. The Void Spirit actually going in and nabbing one. But meanwhile, Beast Coast, they're, you know, playing towards objectives. They're getting this tower, top tower removed. These fixed objectives being taken. 3 towers down, and they have not lost a single tower themselves.
Oh, that Slaughter and Weaver doing some tremendous building damage. Much cleaner from Beast Coast here, kind of transitioning out of that laning stage into some bigger things.
Also not really the best pushing lineup, right? Like, their heroes are not meant to take towers that easily. But because of how they're dominating, they are. Fishman. Setting up vision here on Lumpy.
Static Storm there for the Shadow Demon. Doesn't catch the Pango, though, and the wall's dropped in as well. Again, expenditure galore, as Lumpy does get dragged back. Blood Grenade, and the final touches there. Get them a double kill for DM.
Yeah, good time to fight when Pango doesn't have his ulti available. He tried to jump away there, but the glimpse pulls him back into fights. So, first real, like, good engagement, I want to say, for Entity going their way. And also DM specifically getting those 2 kills. He had a pretty rough lane. You know, the solo death to the Weaver and the rest of the stuff. This helps him get back to his Guardian Greaves. Not too far away from that right now.
Yeah, and you can see it feels so much better when they're able to, in unison, use their ultis, right? Having Static Storm and Wall and Nether Strike on top of each other rather than piecemeal putting them one by one as we've seen in the previous fights. Entity's 5-man is very strong.
Yeah, it is. It has a lot of potential. But similarly, you could say for Beast Coast now, with the Gleipnir in hand on the Weaver, he's very ready and looking to get involved in this as well. You can see by him staying mid right now, he's looking to get into some of these fights.
And blink on Slardar as well. Vitali's ready to strike. You can't see anybody right now, though. And Dire Vision on the far left side, they have just seen the Morphling farming Ancients.
Oh no, they remember there's a Morphling in the game. All he wants is to be forgotten.
Oh, heck, guys. There's a blue water fella there farming Ancients.
Always funny moment when it's like 30 minutes in, it's like, oh god, there's a Terrorblade, we forgot.
What's worse, though, is when it happens on your team or the enemy team? Like, we have a Terrorblade, or they have a Terrorblade?
we have one? That's always a funny moment. Bottom, Clockwork now, getting a little bit caught by the Void Spirit here. Quick glimpse.
Straight back in. He's going to hook shot. There's no chance of survival, though. Maybe Slardar can make a meal of this, though, with a nice Blink Crush on 2. Static Storm dropped as a bit of protection here. Maybe they can get no one out, but bashed up, controlled, but Dissimulate down to the south. He's still scouted by the Swarm. A double kill for El Micho. Oh, DM! They found him with Lumpy. The Pangolier here crashing and landing in onto this Darkseer as he disappears. I was worried about damage output, but this Slardar with amplified damage and the Weaver just shredding people. Shuts me the hell up.
Yeah, in fairness, they had a DD rune there as well in the Pango, so he was, you know, packing quite a punch into that Darkseer as well. But this is great for them. They can even set up on Roche here. They have the Swarm, they have the Slardar ulti, so really, really fast. The triple minus armor heroes, like we mentioned in the draft, they do take Roche really well. SD is here too to protect his team.
I mean, how many times in these games do we see this kind of stuff start with a Clockwork kind of baiting?
Yeah, I mean, it's the Schofield factor, right? Yeah. And again, look, Clockwork is hooking. He's not even saying like, oh, we have to kill this guy. This is more like, yeah, I'm just creating space. If they fight me, it's for whatever.
That's just noise and chaos.
Yeah.
Spirit Breaker. Gonna charge himself away from there.
Sometimes the mindset you have to have as you play support, it's not every fight has to be about you getting a kill on them or even you getting an objective. Sometimes it's just causing the distraction is all you need to do.
Yeah, it's like you can get caught up in being, you know, results oriented or thinking about the destination, but sometimes, yeah, it's just about the journey.
It's the journey.
It's the journey.
Back to Fountain.
It's the friends you make along the way.
It's the journey back to Fountain over and over as you have to sacrifice yourself for your friends to shine.
Yeah, we've had some cracking performances out of, you said Schofield, with FNG on Clockwork yesterday as well. Just this tanky little guy, you know, getting up in people's faces, dragging them into really nasty team fights.
He's a very strong hero still. The expanded armature is a very good facet.
I'm just every couple of seconds I'm looking at that net worth board though, and like, okay, Morphling has gone from 6th to 5th to 3rd to 2nd.
He's working his way up. Yeah, he's collecting scalps right now. He's and one day we're gonna see him show up in a fight with items. Today is not that day. Not yet.
Deja vu. He's farming the ancient camp on the left side of the map.
Yeah, they can still see him. Like, guys, he's still there.
I mean, this is a guy that is definitely not thinking about the journey. The journey is long and hard. He's climbing
all
Mount
about
Everest.
the results.
It's all about getting to the peak right now.
When I'm at the summit, Gareth, that's
Yep.
when I will take the picture, and that will be immortalized forever. God damn it. Nobody cares about how you got up there.
What is it? Everest has the Hillary step, right? Is that the last hurdle before you reach the summit? And it's a very difficult climb you've got to make.
Okay.
Hopefully he doesn't
Stumble
down.
towards the end. If he dies here, it's the Hillary death. Oh no, he's
DM.
under vision. Might have jinxed him, but
TP.
his read is good. They do have a ward mid. The top rune ward actually keeps them safe here. Well, keeps him safe.
Okay, 15 kills for Beast Coast. How many are Fishmen?
Without looking, I would say like 6.
Where are we? 7. You were close.
Okay, 7. So even more. It's
So about half.
Yeah, I wanted to not do him dirty, but I guess he's,
10.
it's the valuable deaths here at least. This time, you know, he was around trying to provide some safety for his carry.
You know, that's the thing, right? We've talked in the past about stuff like kind of converting net worth into impact, you know, that kind of theoretical stat, right? And here, Fishman is converting deaths into net worth of his carry, right? This is not necessarily feeding on purpose, but he's out there on the map, again, making noise, waving a flag, saying, look at me, I'm grabbing lotuses under your nose, what are you going to do?
I would also argue he's being converted to net worth for the enemy carry in some cases here, but it's true. He's trying to have a silent impact, let's say, in a way. Quick Tormentor was grabbed by Beast Coast, stealing the enemy Tormentor, so they got the shard on SD. A really nice shard to have in any game, I find. Now you can remove the Thunderstrike, make sure that's not on top of you, and generally just nice to have that little bit of extra healing.
Super handy. Especially when you've got a hero like Weaver, who very often toes that line, right? Waiting to press the time-lapse button. Just give him a bit of protection, a bit of dispel and heal, cleanse him up.
The dispel against the Aghanim's Void Spirit can be huge here because he has that double silence, so you could maybe save your Pangor Weaver from being chain disabled, basically.
That's very true.
Hike did a good job of shoving bottom lane all the way here. Void Spirit's got TP as a response.
Yeah, this is the big difference, right, to game 1, where we had this whole conversation about, you know, K1 Heck. Well, hang on a second. Spoken to
they're on him.
Weaver, yeah, they've got him.
He needs help.
First life down. Now, Fisherman does have a static storm here as well, but a rolling thunder. It's going to cause problems. The storm is too late. The Weaver has escaped. The Pango's still rolling about in the midst of them all. He's crashing onto the small thing, but he's being bashed up by Kataomi now, and Lumpy's going to die under the wall. El Misho and Pike trying to skip away from this. They stuck around to maybe think about fighting, but they're going to lose out 3 heroes now, just trying to protect that Weaver's retreat.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes, right? Your carry gets caught out and everyone else has to die for it. Like, why were you there, buddy? Now they've lost Aegis and 3 kills going the way of Entity. Huge moment here for them to start grabbing some objectives. They have not been taking too many, only got the top tier 1 tower before. Now finally, Watson getting involved, taking the mid tower. And while I say he's been, you know, playing a very slow and silent game, he is 2-0-3. He hasn't died a single time. He has been in good positions, and he is halfway towards his butterfly now. So this Morphling is becoming a serious threat. I would say almost there's a little bit of a clock on Beast Coast in this game.
Yes. Yeah, it does. It feels like that for sure. I'm just going to try and activate my ADHD brain, go into the mind archives. We saw the stats there. The gold gained during the Aegis was, I think, 1.3k for Beast Coast, and then the team fight that ensued was 2,300 plus for Entity and minus 500 for Beast Coast, which is like 1,800.
So they lost their power play, is what you're saying.
They lost their power play and 500 gold extra.
Yeah, and then some. It was a very decisive moment. The Weaver did choose to go on the Darkseer a bit there as he crossed past with him. Was a very aggressive choice. He felt like he could because of the Aegis, but he was a little bit too isolated from his team. Yes, Pango could save you, but then everyone else got caught in a weird spot. And Pango, right before his death, by the way, he was mid-shield crash, trying to get a 4-man shield crash, but he got vacuumed out of it, so he didn't get the shield crash. Preventing him from getting the barrier was a nice little detail. But
that's a good catch. I didn't spot that.
Yeah, anything that pulls him out of it. He got pulled out of it by Glimpse earlier as well. So things that stop his shield crash from connecting, it needs to slam into the ground. If you don't slam into the ground, it doesn't count.
Yeah,
Which
we saw the like storm against Pango mid lane a lot, right? And that was always one of the big things with the Vortex.
Yeah,
kind of preemptively.
Fishman just sitting mid with a Shadow Amulet right now, trying to protect his wards a little bit. It's a funny thing where, you know, some skills like that actually matters the terrain in Dota if it's high ground, low ground as well. Because if you jump from the high ground to the low ground, it takes longer before you get shield crash than if you jump on the flat ground.
I never thought about that.
Yeah, I mean, these are nerdy details, but stuff that matters a lot on Marcy as well. You get the high ground, low ground rebounds, right?
Dispose.
Yeah, dispose. I mean, you can yeet people. If you throw them low ground, they actually fly way farther. If you throw them high ground, they land super fast, so they don't go very far.
Yeah, I think I've only ever thought about like the Z-axis when we had all the discussions about neutral camps and the spawning, like with torrent stacking kind of thing, right?
Yeah, we've seen cool stuff as well where like
cold feet with tiny toss.
Oh, big moment here. Entity smoking up towards the tier 2 tower. Got a charge onto the Pango.
We go in for this. We do. Oh, the jump in, jump out.
Ooh, it's a whiff though.
Doesn't land in onto the Pango. Is looking for someone else a little further behind. They will find El Micho, but in the meantime, Moose, he's been annihilated by Watson. Morphling joining in the fight. He's turned into Weaver, shakooching around, looking for the next target, which is the charge and the damage in onto Lumpy's Pangolier, and they've got the damage to take him down. A double kill here for Watson. Pike, timeout's back, barely scrapes away with his life. Vitali might still get chased, but it looks like the Slardar has the sprint and the move speed to get away. And they're still hunting this Weaver.
I guess be careful.
Pike, the Shikuchi's going to end in a second, and Kataomi, oh, with a Gleipnir there. Pike actually turning and fighting. They've got a Demonic Purge over onto someone, as Vitali will jump onto no one. Always trying to astral step out, but the Weaver bugs, the minus armor all stacked up to get them a massive kill on that mid laner.
Yeah, he's a little bit sold by his Morphling, who says, you know what, I'm going to farm neutral camps. I'm not going to dive the tier 2 tower for even longer. Respawns are coming up. I have no interest being there. They did get a buyback out, at least, out of El Micho, but yeah, we saw the first big fight there for Morphling showing up, and he was a force to be reckoned with. They couldn't fight him at all. Everybody was running away from him. The butterfly timing, he is looking like a monster right now.
I guess that fight recap was split into two different things. It looked like Entity came out on top in terms of net worth, but there's a second fight recap which swings it back the other way as well, thanks to these additional kills at the end. It looks so good for Entity as it started off here, but yeah, they very quickly lost their Darkseer. And then this follow through onto no one was very nicely done.
Back in the game, we have some fighting.
Oh, we do. Darkseer with the help of this Static Storm trying to deal with the Slardar, but he's so tanky, just stands his ground, batters back into DM, gets the kill. In comes Pike as well, looking for Kataomi, who just disappears. That's a reasonably tanky Spirit Breaker, who in a matter of seconds is annihilated by the minus armor of Beast Coast.
Yeah, very quickly bring down these heroes. It's only Morphling that's really tanky against it. Slardar does have the blink ready. No one is playing very risky, even just being in the area here. Looks like he wants to clear the creep wave, get out again.
And we jump with no
one. Oh, they're going for Weaver.
Jump onto Weaver, but he's been protected. The bubble will save him, gives time for the lapse back to full HP, and now Watson's the one being turned on. Waveform in 2 seconds, Butterfly in 1, charges protecting, and he's got the waveform back towards high ground, but it's kind of leaving no one alone here. Astral Step in 2, Manta is ready, but he's just blown up. Can't cast anything.
That was a bold move, going 2v4, going into that initiation there, and of course the SD sitting behind El Micho in position, has the blink dagger on the SD, so he's always going to be there to protect whoever you try and burst. So Weaver looked like a juicy target for them, but they lose no one. He just respawned as well. Not a fun time to just die immediately again. We have Wisdom Rune coming up soon, but Roche is the bigger objective. Both teams are looking towards.
We've got to set up for it. A couple of minutes until it shifts.
Weaver's looking
No,
so
it's
strong
fine.
now. Lincoln Sphere complete. BKB, Lincoln's, Gleipnir, and Paladin Sword. Always nice to have. A little bit of lifesteal.
Yeah, very handy. No Rolling Thunder for about 20 seconds. And this could be a window for Entity. Flare flies over. What have they got? They've got a lane ward here with Hobbs and Sentry. Scan connect as
going
well.
around.
So they know Beast Coast
They're on
are here and
SD.
they straight in. Go on the Pangolier. The whole shot might have bought time for Lumpy with the disruption as well. Static Storm is dropped in the back on Shadow Demon as Almisho. He's the first one to die. Pike will turn with Lumpy here to look at Kataomi and bring the Spirit Breaker to his knees. Lumpy finally gets off the Rolling Thunder, and alongside Vitali, they shred through the Fishman support. Watson's got the turn and run. DM is bailing away from this one as well.
Spirit Breaker
Entity turning
buyback.
on their heels, but look at this Vitali Slardar again with the initiation. Jump straight in.
Watson
Darkseer
fighting.
down. A double kill for Pike, and Watson, he is trying to turn and fight. No one has rejoined in here, and Vitali, he's getting
the bash.
whacked away at by this Morphling with a bash and the hit. He's got the kill, and Pike, he's like the last one's left standing now. Kataomi and no one on his tail. This back and forth fight. Entity started, Beast Coast fought back valiantly, but in the end, they're going to get wiped off the face of the map.
Oh, that is a big fight right there. And Tips coming out for no one there in that fight who had some really nice impact. The silence is coming out from him.
Look at that Morphling, dude. 8,500 damage.
Yeah, he was shredding. I mean, he did the big damage dealing, but I think some of the setup plays there from his team was really valuable. You could see the impact of the catch as well. Also, that wraparound was beautiful. They got perfect start basically. Now Beast Coast in trouble. No Weaver for 40 seconds, so definitely losing their top lane. Fortunately, they have tier 2 tower mid, so they can't go for a second lane here. Otherwise, I think they would have.
Yeah, safe and sound. We go back to farming Watson.
Yeah, Roche has moved down to bottom. He just has time to settle in his new summer home and immediately get some visitors.
So they start on a Pango, they kill the Shadow Demon. So this is where it kind of starts to look good for Beast Coast, though. They lose SD, yeah, but the Pango survives, gets off his roll. Slaughter came in from the right-hand side, which is like keeping tabs on no one, right? He comes into the
We
fight,
might see a
then he
hook shot
resets.
on the Roche. Doesn't get it.
It's still going to move in on this Pangolier, though, with some bashes and the Static Storm. Disruption, again, just delaying the inevitable death here of Lumpy and Elmisho. Another sacrifice as Entity clean up another massive fight.
This is big for them. They have a timing to just go up the high ground now. Aegis on the Morphling, almost has the full Satanic as well. 2 heroes down. And they know Elmisho does not have buyback. He used it earlier. It's looking very grim for him on the side of Dire. They have a little bit away. They need 1,000 golden slaughter for BKB, so that's not going to be in time either.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
We need a bit of breathing room.
All right.
Need to decide, do I buy back on the Pango?
Yeah.
Do we defend the mid lane? Tier 2 still standing.
Puppy paws.
Yeah. Kanda there for the Morphling. Just tremendous damage out of Watson, who was... You know, it's kind of classic Morphling things, right? Very quiet for 25 minutes and then this burst of energy.
Yeah, I mean, he's played some really good team fights, and I liked seeing him turn into Slaughter. Pretty funny with the butterfly. He actually hits so fast, he can almost go for the perma bashing, you know, while being a Slaughter. But yeah, he is a huge force, and the big thing that Morphling struggles against is magic damage. And you're playing against the triple minus armor strat, so they are physical damage fully.
Many thanks.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, not too much. They can just straight up burst him.
Yeah, without
So another
MKB,
lane.
how do you hit this Morphling? I feel like there's just no solution here. I'm looking at their heroes clicking around, looking for an item or something, you know, to save this. But I don't know, man. I think you just kind of didn't win hard enough early, and now it's Morphling time. He reigns supreme.
Consequences to your actions. Yeah, like I was about to make the argument of maybe you just ignore the Morphling, kill everybody else, but Morphling has Satanic now. Like, he can 1v5 you.
Middle tower has fallen.
Can kill people pretty fast. If you ignore him, he's gonna cut through your lines before you kill the rest.
Radiant are scanning.
Weaver has done a massive amount of damage through this game, but
Around.
not the be-all and end-all of carries in this kind of match. Oh, Lumpy stuck in the rocks. Slaughter has gone in deep. Static Storm's dropped. Fishman's dead. A Rolling Thunder crashing into the back, but El Micho is just annihilated by Katomi and no one. 3 heroes down. Buybacks will come out of Beast Coast, but you've barely scratched the surface of Entity's lineup. You killed Fishman for like the 10th time in this game. Congratulations! You've killed a Disruptor, but now you have to contend with this massive Void Spread and Morphling, forcing an early BKB out of the Weaver. Pike has got to try and turn and run away as Watson just goes diving tier 4s. Look at him! He's 1v4. The rest of his team don't even have to bloody help him.
There's nobody who can do anything. Look at him. He's just asking, who's gonna fight me?
Question mark? Question mark? Yeah,
he can basically park right there. He can stand right by their fountain. Item drops. What?
DM just stands up near the fountain, also asking questions. Beast Coast, no clockwork for a minute. They've got 4 alive now, with your thrones exposed. And DM is toying with them, vacuuming them around. Void Spirit back in again. Does get crushed up, but Watson's arrival. He's going to secure a kill here onto El Micho for sure, and probably more. Pike time lapses back into Fountain, but this is Fountain farming of the highest order.
They're just making a home here.
I mean, we talked about the well and scratching on the walls. Beast Coast find themselves in that exact same position yet again.
Morphling is in the fountain. He's where he wants to be.
Cares? None.
Yeah. Absolutely dominant once we hit that mid-game stride. Early on, it was all Beast Coast. They were dominant. They had all the